We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. People do not understand what's going to happen here. They just don't. The entire world of money and technology investing. So think of it like foreign exchange, equities, and bonds are all about to pour into crypto. Anybody who'd been investing in those things is having an uh-oh moment, along with crypto hedge funds, along with retail who left, are having this huge moment where they're looking at charts on their screen and it looks like all the way up and poof, and everything is sitting on the basement, which is why when you're sitting in the basement, as soon as a market like crypto pops, it just keeps going. You know, you see 2-3% today, boom, higher. You see last week, market goes up 8%, coin, whatever, sits, doesn't go down, and then boom. It's a stair-step function higher. And I think people are sleeping on it still. Now, Bitcoin's probably going to change that today. Sui should have changed it 2 days ago. But, you know, that's not in the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana complex. Sui is telling you that we're not in alt season. We're in altcoin revaluation, meaning this whole market is too cheap, right? Volatility is falling in legacy, which means high-powered money is in the system. And this is just an absolute recipe for a volcano. It's a recipe for a volcano because the tech part of crypto, which never went up this whole cycle to begin with, right, is ripe. And I'm talking about AI, DeFi. I mean, you can't believe it. Last night, we went through this, found 36 coins. Small cap, medium cap, large cap. I mean, it's like most of it's small cap and medium cap. Now, believe it or not, is now time to start running around going, oh my God, 100X, oh my God, 100X. Right? Normally, that's not the way I talk, but now's the time to start talking about it because the 100X plays are out there. They're out there because, stuff's trading at like $25 million market cap, $40 million market cap. Even the stuff trading at $200 million market cap could wind up trading at 7 or 8 billion. Seriously, especially if you have DeFi explode, like just say take Yearn Finance. And then all the way on the other side of the example, some guy I know just came up. I got to look up the ticker. It's at YBX is the ticker. Yield box. Like 3 million market cap. Not investment advice. I haven't researched it. All I'm saying is you have a spectrum from large cap to tiny cap where you could say, well, I got to look at this now. Yeah, that's the emphasis. Now. Okay. Not when it dips. Forget the dip. The dip was yesterday. The dip is when it sits still. Okay. The dip was the alleged crypto winter 9 days ago. Never going to shut up about that. Okay. Let's welcome who's on the stream. The Warriors in the house. Blown Ideas wants Bill token. I don't know, man. I've always wanted to do Notorious token. We need one for Toby and Eagle King too. Yav, Lee, Warmon, MJ Hiltz, what's up? Ben from Australia, Miguel, Mahet is here. Bizan, Tyler, Malik, Thomas, Metal Synthetic. Love that. Okay. Tyler Hall, Anti, ready to send. Dude, let's just think about that because that's a good way to think about the market. They got a cross-chain mixer coming out. Okay. They're going to publish the code so people know at least it's on the up and up in terms of how they did it. The more people that use it, the more fees it generates, and the marketing, which will be done by humans in the short term, will eventually be done by a video talking John McAfee. You're going to have a dead guy coming back to life who invented cryptocurrency independence, marketing a token that has function, which is going to be the key, by the way, in altcoins. If it has a business model, if it does something, if it makes money, it's going up, and it's going up a lot higher than anyone thinks. A lot higher. So yeah, the memes and stuff like that will move. But dude, now is the time. It's the tech, it's the functionality, it's the use case, it's the money, it's Bitcoin and everything that goes with that. Okay, news, let's go. 81% of Americans don't trust the government. 19% probably work for the government. Congress, 2% of America thinks it's clean. So, you know, Elon tried to clean it up, got run out of town. The Orange Man tried to do things, he winds up in court. Orange Man tries to push the trade thing. He got substantial pushback on that. Government doesn't solve all problems. You know what solves problems? Markets. The power of the market. Haven't gone on and on and on about this lately. But, you know, Bitcoin is the stupid meter. Bitcoin at 100 is the fun meter, right? We do the dance. Bitcoin at 200 is you guys screwed up. And that's taking the whole altcoin complex with it. Now, of course, the Orange Man is completely okay with that because the conversation is going to get changed. It's already changing, right? Legacy volatility is down. You know, they declared the end of the world. Ray Dalio is backtracking. It's endless, right? So the beginning part of it is, which I have no problem with. But then that's going to accelerate into either you screwed up or the whole AI thing has to get traded in crypto. Do you have any idea? I mean, again, I'm looking at it. We found them last night. I mean, there are at least 10 AI, machine learning, cloud computing coins that went all the way up and all the way down, and they're just sitting there. So the second wave of this, you could have, you know, come back, right? Because everyone left. Everyone bought this legacy, this baloney, right? Baloney. All they did was crush inflation. I think that's what they did. They crushed it. Now, unfortunately, that's going to mean some people got laid off. You know, you don't crush inflation without some pain. And the Orange Man's approval rating, which I'm pulling up right now, okay, because this is like, you know how I always joke that there's like a one chart market update? Yeah, okay, here's the one chart. Here it is. Strategic Bitcoin reserve coming up. He better hurry the way this market trades. Orange Man approval falls to 37%. Disapproval rises to 57%. The Orange Man cares about what people think of him. Now, they had to do what they had to do on tariffs. You know, they probably meant to do something good. It didn't turn out, right? I mean, it didn't turn out. At least the optics were horrible. But I think they broke inflation because they broke legacy and they couldn't have created a better outcome for crypto. And don't forget, he was pivoting back towards his meme coin. So if the market is going to do it, and then they are going to have to jump on, and corporations, as we discussed yesterday, the bus is leaving. The bus is leaving across the whole ecosystem. That's the part people don't understand yet. Okay, who blinks first? China may exempt tariffs on U.S. ethane and other goods. Yeah, see, we can't take them selling our treasuries, and they can't handle their exports going away because they get deprived of dollars, and the layoffs over there are catastrophic, right? Volatility in retreat, okay? Volatility. Bond volatility, stock volatility, falling out of bed. Falling out of bed. What did I say? Right? These are all volatility metrics. When tariff talk tops, Bitcoin doubles from 2017. And if you can't see, I mean, maybe you can't see it because you weren't there, but this is building like a 2017 banana. Just an absolute banana. Our export orders disappeared, says the Chinese. Disaster, right? Disaster. They have to unwind all this. They have to shut up about it. They have to change the subject. I mean, they could still fight about it. You know, they could still go back and forth. You know, there'll be a tariff tweet of the day or two tweets of the day, but this is over. This is over. This is over. And they broke legacy in the process, or at least they broke everyone's psychology that all I had to do was sit and be long the S&P. See, that's just it, right? Like, I had a partner who goes around and talks to a bunch of rich people at Tony Robbins events. And she's like, oh, yeah, I have a crypto podcast, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, oh, yeah, crypto, that's really interesting. But really all I have to do is sit in NVIDIA and the S&P. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not after the famous decoupling day, people. Not anymore. Okay, so this is sad, but this breaks inflation. Port of Los Angeles hit with the tariffs, trucking volume down to zero, layoffs of truckers, pain. And this goes back to 1980 and 1982, where Volcker had to raise rates, the Fed chairman, to 20% to stop inflation. That was 2 years of monster pain. Hopefully, this is only like 1 or 2 quarters. But I think they broke inflation. And you know what? All these globalist, deep state characters, right? The Europeans and the globalists want the orange man to stop. Because it's interfering with their plan to have you eat bugs. It's not happening. It's not happening. And you know what? Like I keep saying, what's the biggest force for good? What's the biggest force for change? Is it a sovereign or is it you? Is it the market? Is it the orange man or is it the orange crypto? Think about it. Now, I like this. So somebody from the Epoch Times has written that no one can concentrate on anything for long these days. So naturally, I appreciate you, my audience, who stays anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes for a live stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. But in the rest of the world, I lose money. I buy the top. I lose money. It goes down. I leave. Then they're going to look at it and go, oh my God, I got to get back in. And that's going to happen all at once, right? I have no attention span. I watch it for 4 seconds. I'm out. Oh my God, I watch it for 4 seconds. I'm back in. This is like, it's not a negative thing. It's like, oh my God, people will react in 4 seconds. Out and then in. 3 to 4 weeks for a trade deal. That means it's already done. It's already done, right? And if it's not already done, well, they're panicking, they're backtracking, they're doing whatever they're doing. They got to get this done off the table, and they got to start talking about crypto because that's the only way those approval numbers are going to go back up. Now, meanwhile, back at the crypto ranch, ARK Investments updates their 2030 Bitcoin price target to 2.4 million. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something shocking. Again, been doing a lot of research, a lot of like cyberpunk, AI kind of stuff. Listen, 2.4 million is too low. It's too low because you may have to, it's the Bitcoinization of TradFi and legacy, right? It's too low, right? Because, Bitcoin based on the computer science is so scarce and so rare, right? And the supply is gone that when that thing starts rolling, it's just going to keep rolling. Now, for our purposes, we don't have to talk about 2.4 million in 2030 because there's too much talk about 2030 in a way. What about 120? What about 250? Where's all that talk? Remember that? Like the end of last year, everyone's like, oh yeah, 250 by the end of the year. No one has said 250. That'll be back tomorrow. We'll see that. Yeah, you'll see that on Monday's show. You know what I'm saying? Everybody will be back with 250, but no one's talking about it now. Right? That's because they were too scared to, because it was winter 9 days ago. We went from winter to 2.4 million in 9 days. SEC task force to meet with Orange Man's group to discuss regulation. Dude, they're not going to regulate anything. Everyone's looking for Congress to make it legal. We don't need Congress to make it legal. We need a free market, and we need law enforcement to enforce the law, not create the law. We don't need Congress to make markets legal. Markets are legal. We just need them to stop destroying it. And you know what? I think this is like starting to set in because I think they're starting to go this whole this thing with like crypto being able to do banking. Okay, where is it? Okay, banks are now free to begin supporting crypto. The Fed announces the withdrawal of guidance for banks related to their crypto assets and dollar token activities. Stablecoin companies create a bid for treasuries. A proliferation of stablecoins prints money for the crypto ecosystem. Like, of all these like pro Bitcoin headlines that you see kind of every day, this is the big one, right? 2025 bull market. It's happening. Like, put the cartridge back in. How many people thought it was over? I mean, some of the smartest guys I know, I mean, and they rightly got out in January and they thought the cycle was done. They're like, yeah, this is over. It's done. And of course, for 3 months, they were right. I mean, they preserved capital, not this. And this moved the market. This made everybody go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. El Salvador, every single day. Every single day. They bought it every single day for 3 months all the way down. You'll never see those prices again. Never see those prices again. And again, a new era begins with this thing with the Fed. I like this. You want to know how worried they are about the dollar? Here's how worried they are about the dollar. United States to offer Saudi Arabia $100 billion in defense toys. Okay, so Saudi Arabia has to do 2 things. One, they have to keep control of their own people, right? Because, you know, they've got the princes and, you know, they've got royalty and they have a poor, disaffected population. That's the fact, right? And, you know, that population, some of it's radical. And then they've got, you know, their Iranians on their, you know, in their neighborhood. And they don't exactly get along. So we would like oil to continue to be traded in dollars. And the past administration was not nice to Saudi Arabia. Matter of fact, Saudi Arabia laughed in their face. So we're like, gee, would you guys like $200 billion worth of weapons for $100 billion? Yeah. Will you continue to trade oil in dollars? Yep. Done. This is a dollar tweet, not a defense tweet. Although, of course, it's nice, you know, the deep state still finds its way, you know, to get its lubrication for its giant war machine. It's fine. It's not fine, but, you know, if they continue trading oil in dollars and then stable coins proliferate, volatility in legacy goes down. I mean, do you know how much like, oh, this is the end of the dollar? I mean, it's not the end of the dollar. The dollar has to go lower. It's the beginning of crypto. And nobody can accept this. No one, I mean, seriously, who is saying other than me that, you know, okay, it's not the end of the dollar. It's dollar weakness with crypto going up. It's a dollar devaluation, right? So you keep the dollar, right? And this is another reminder, right? Whoever this guy is, he talked to a whistleblower and bad people came to his house. Bad people came to his house. Watch out, right? Your privacy, your life, your sovereignty. You know, there's this guy that says if you can get $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, and I know to some people, that's a lot of money. You know, that might as well be $1 million. I get it. I get it. Okay. We're going to TA here. We're going to see what we got. Let's see what's working. So, you know, I had a friend of mine read an article and she goes, you know, I saw an article that said XRP is going to $27. And that sounds about right to me. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Really? Okay. So we're looking for any type of bottom, any type of support in XRP. My guess is this is a daily chart. I don't know. My guess is, you know, 5 or 6 days from now, if XRP stays in this gliding sideways pattern, this 8, you know, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So by this time next week, if you have a 13 bottom on a daily chart of XRP, that could start to move. That could start to move. Right? And you also have to start looking at monthly charts, right? Which we'll get to in a minute. So notice, no downtick. You should have gotten a downtick here. That was your downtick. Your downtick was 94 to 92. And these wicks, it goes up, it goes down, it goes right back up again. Okay. They've reset the range. The range was 88 to 74. And now the range is 89 to 102. This thing prints 102. You're going to have altcoins moving 25% increments. And it may not even take that long because some of this stuff is so oversold. I mean, stuff that should be at 25, is that 25 million market cap? Should be, I don't know, at 200 million market cap. Like this market, like you could throw a stick, you could throw a dart at a board on CoinGecko, and you might be able to find a 10x. Now, I'm sure it's not that simple, but it was with Memecoins, and it could be again with tech and Memecoins. Who knows? Who knows if they want to get it going? Like once Bitcoin gets to 102, who knows what they're going to go after? Now, maybe I'm not the meme coin guy, but maybe I can figure it out because if you don't figure this out quick, it's going to go. The tech part, the DeFi part, we got figured out. Okay, Solana. Okay, I'll repeat what I said. You got a 9 top today. If there's a dip or a pause in Solana and it resumes, it's going to absolutely smoke. And again, you got to start looking at weekly or monthly charts. No resistance on the weekly chart until 250 in Solana. And we're getting towards the end of the month where you can start looking at monthly charts. Like, look at this monthly candlestick reversal in Solana. All the way down, take out the low, all the way back, engulfing the body of this candle. I first learned that from the guy that wrote the book. There was a guy, Steve Nissen, he wrote the book. He took the manuscripts from Japan, got them translated in 1992, which was crazy. To actually have that translated out probably by hand. And then, he taught, I learned this in a class with like 2 people in it. Now, of course, it's standard. That is a candlestick. And then, of course, there's ETH monthly. You know what? If ETH winds up for the month, you're going to have a beautiful looking candlestick here. You've already got a beautiful looking candlestick, but it would be basically considered a hammer bottom. And if ETH closes above 2,000 at the end of the month, people are going to lose their mind. People were telling me this is dead. There's no way this is dead from a DeFi point of view. And I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but DeFi on ETH could ignite DeFi on Solana. Because, there's this thing, I had it earlier, that when you buy something on ETH, you no longer have to have ETH in there for gas. You just take the commission out of whatever you bought. That's going to change the game, particularly if stuff is 5xing. And I continue to talk about this. Like if ETH at the end of the month, right? If Bitcoin goes to 100 and then ETH has this monster catch-up rally, which is already happening in altcoins, right? And you get some sort of like 9-13 setup with a bullish candlestick. Like ETH doesn't have to go to 4,000. You don't have to believe in ETH. You just need an epic end of the month reversal in ETH for this thing to just, I mean, like as in like the moon. And we discussed this yesterday, right? So we were looking at the 4-hour chart of SUI, I think, right? And what we noticed was you got the 9 top. And what do I say about the 9 top? Well, if it doesn't create a top, it creates a pause, which there was like basically none. Normally it should create a sharp dip. No, none of that. Just sat there and then boom. And SUI's probably going to go above 4 before it puts the 13 top in on a 4-hour chart. And then the bid is going to rotate to other layer ones and the rest of the market. Because basically, this is an example, right? I mean, this looks like a really big rally. It is, but this thing was at $6. It's just coming back above the 38% retracement of the overall move. Like this was too stupid on the way down. And now they can probably take it to 4.5. And you know what? Like with this market, you got to start using your imagination, right? Like Nobody thought it could be this awful, and nobody thinks it's going to $5 now. Because you know what? You could have 2 more days of this. You could have today, 3 more days. You could have today, tomorrow, and Sunday night. And what happens? Ready? Remember how Sunday night used to be, oh my God, equities are open? Oh my God, equities are going to open down. Oh my God, China. Oh my God, it's all over. What happens if they watch this market all week? Hedge funds go into a meeting and everyone comes out at the end of the month and goes, oh my God, we got to get long now. And on Sunday night, it's gone. Remember this Easter seasonal thing we talked about? Like before and after Easter? I mean, it's happening. It is happening right now. Okay. Let's talk about what hasn't moved yet. Avalanche security tokens, right? They have a security token functionality. 200-day moving average is at 26. Token is currently at 22. I mean, what stops that? Like we can have like the what stops that talk. Seriously, like Pendle, DeFi is not even above the 200-day moving average. It's not. You know, you're in finance. You know, and I know everyone thinks these tokens are a joke until they're not, right? I mean, you can have like monstrous moves in some of these tokens. You just had the legacy financial system freeze. And like, if you zoom in on you're in finance, yeah, okay, it's gone straight up, but it was on its discount zone and it was stuck in its discount zone for like a week. You know, and again, I'm just bringing up old school DeFi. I mean, synthetics just got out of the discount zone, right? And all of this like trading related stuff has to be looked at, right? Render, okay? Render hits the discount zone, bounces. Luxalgo puts support underneath it. The next resistance in Render, maybe it's the 200-day moving average at 5. It's currently at 450, or maybe the resistance is up here at 7. Note, and this is as is the case everywhere, right? It went straight down, right? It's exiting this base period, right? With some kind of like, you know, cup and handle type thing, rounding bottom, also known by Coinbase as crypto winter or whatever narrative or story people made up about this, right? It's a gigantic rounding bottom. And if you draw it this way, it hasn't even broken out yet. What happens when they break out of this thing? Forget about it, right? This could take the whole AI sector with it. I mean, we're talking about upside here. You know, we're talking about 50% upside in a large cap coin. Okay. We're talking about 50% upside. You know, and Arrow, it was the same thing we were talking about earlier, where, you know, you have like 80% to go until resistance. Okay. So this is daily ski mask, right? And, you know, the pain is probably over because everyone gave up. Like this downward sloping wedge was absolutely brutal. And this is classic meme coin, right? Frankly, the whole market looks like this. The entire market looks like this. And the thing that's funny about Ski Mask Dog is that, you know, if you look, everyone's going to say, well, I missed the low. All right, well, whatever. Because if you look at this inflection point near 56 cents, it was retesting it yesterday, right? In other words, you retested this point yesterday, huge volume coming in. And this was an important top on the way up. And then this is where it exploded the last time. And again, the whole market looks like this. Like you can just name a coin. Like you can find something with a cool AI or DeFi based narrative. I mean, it's crazy, right? Hedera, these American-made cryptos are coming back, right? Like, don't fade them for a second because they have to change the subject. His approval rating is so low. It's so bullish. It's insane, right? Hedera goes back down to a DeMark support at 14 cents. They do a retracement. And I think the most important thing about this market is that you don't start any mental noise about, oh, I missed the low. You haven't missed anything. I mean, if anything, with stuff like Hedera, right? They did an overshoot like this whole 20 days, 20 days, more than that. They did a 20-day overshoot of the 62% retracement. So the 62% retracement should hold if it's good. Naturally, they had to do it's beyond the rubber gloves, right? They had to just, I don't know, man. They had to just, it's like 20 days, like getting stung by a bee every day for 20 days. Now it's going back above the 62% retracement. So it's good, right? This is where it should have held. Then it didn't. Now it's right back here. So it's like this whole thing didn't exist. There was the winter trick. This is off to the races, people. They're going to go tax-free transactions on U.S. crypto. It's not like they're sacrificing revenue by saying, hey, the American-made cryptos, let's go. They've been telling you for a couple days. Stable coins, banks can do it. Exchanges getting banking licenses. They need the stable coin bid for treasuries. And if they can goose all this other stuff, it's gone. It's gone, right? True finance. Again, I suspect this is another thing that just got left for dead. Like everybody was into True Finance, Moonwell. Okay, so True Finance has done well, got the resistance. You probably have to respect that. There will be a downtick. And then if there's no downtick of any consequence, when they turn around, they're going to take that support out. Again, classic 13 bottom confirmed quietly at the lows in mid-April. And I'm sure if you look at a weekly chart, right, that zero means it's over. And all you have to do is climb back above 4.5 cents. And you will recognize that this whole thing was just some BS overshoot. And this setup, right, where you have a down move and then it looks like the down move is going to restart, but then doesn't. That is a very powerful signal. Very powerful. Okay. Like this could go to 12 cents. Like, why was it down again? Can someone tell me why it was down? I don't know why it was down. And now you have a reason for it to go up, which is that legacy and DeFi froze long enough to create a permanent memory. Like that Armageddon fear, like gold's at 3,700, the treasury market stopped functioning, equities are down 30%. Ray Dalio's on the Sunday morning talk shows talking about, sovereigns going out of business. He probably bought everything after that show. He probably walked out of there and was hitting a green button. He's like, watch this. Let's scare everybody. And then he comes out with oh, look, it's a China-American reconciliation, I think was the piece. Oldest trick in the book. Oldest trick in the book. Right? Lee banging away. I know his emojis. Taz Pinball. Honest is in the house. Welcome. Dude, gentlemen, ladies. Someone call Alexandra to make sure she's okay. That's right. And she stays involved. Get involved in this market. Get involved. Like whatever the research guys have, trot it out. Trot it out because it's time. We'll see you on Monday.